Right guys, in this lesson I want to demystify this thing about using Roman numerals to tell you all about chords in a key. So if we think about chords in a key, it can be confusing. You can either use the chord name itself. So let's just take a key. A usual key that I would use is C major. Those are the notes from C major. The C is the root note for a chord. The D is a root note for a chord. The E. You can see we've got 7 separate letters there. Now, what we can do is we can assign them as chords. And the easiest way to do this is I'm just imagining what the Roman numerals would be underneath this to help me to know what tonality the chord is. So I can see now that I can change this to C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished. What might happen is I might want to change this chord progression that I derive from here because it doesn't suit the singer's voice. The singer strains and it's out of their tessitura, their natural range. So I might want to change this to a different key. And this is the thing that Roman numerals do. They save us from writing out the different key every time. Let me move to the key of G and I'll just show you this underneath. I'm just going to apply my understanding of the Roman numerals underneath this, and I know that that's going to be minor, that's going to be minor, this is going to be minor, and this is going to be diminished. Every time I write out a key, this is what I have to think about in this way. And what Roman numerals do is they give us a shortcut way of understanding this. Let me just do this in the key of B flat. So those are the notes for the key of B flat. All I need to do now is just add those little M's there that are telling me that those are minor chords, and then this is diminished. Now this is pretty cool to understand this. We get the major chords there, we get a whole bunch of major chords there, we get the minor chords here, we get the minor chords here, and we get these diminished chords here, the wobbly bob chords here. So just to show you that in 3 keys. Now instead of writing it out like that in 3 different keys, we can have one way of identifying all of these chords. And the way we do it is we use numbers, but we use Roman numbers. Now if I did ordinary numbers, we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And this also ties into something called the Nashville number system. I'll do that in an upcoming video where I delve into that separately. But for now, we've got these numbers here. These are Arabic numbers, and the way that we want the numbers, we want them in the Roman format, because with the Roman numerals, we can show the tonality. Now, how do I explain the Roman numerals? I'm just going to use the number 1 there. If I write the number 1 like that, it doesn't tell you what tonality it is. Yes, so this is when people write chord progressions out or something like that and they write it all in uppercase. It starts to get really confusing because you don't know if a chord is a borrowed chord from another key or what's going on there, because this is the biggest clue that you're going to get. These are called serifs. If we put the serifs on, the serifs are telling us that this is a major tonality, okay? So we get major there. Now, if it has the lowercase, you can tell it's lowercase because it's got dots. Yeah, so we put the dot on it like that, then this is going to be a minor tonality. So we've got that major tonality and the minor tonality. I can use that information now, and by understanding that, I can change these Arabic numbers into Roman numerals. What tends to happen is we get standard Roman numerals. I'm not a fan of the standard Roman numerals because they could all be written like that with no serifs on, and some of the ways I've seen it before, which is a bit more confusing, I think, is they put serifs on everything, and then that means everything looks like it's major, which it isn't. Really, I think that makes it difficult for you to understand. So what we do is we use enhanced Roman numerals, which are super useful because we can look at the tonality and add that to the Roman numeral. Now I can draw these out as I did before, like that, with no serifs on at all. We're going to look at these keys that we worked out before, C, G, and B flat. These are all major sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the serif on there because I'm complying with these rules here. Yeah, so major, minor. This here, this is a D minor, This is an A minor, this is a C minor. So what I have to do here is add those dots there to make that lowercase. And you can automatically look at that and think that that is a major, and that is a minor. It doesn't matter which key you are looking in. If I take that information away of what key it is, somebody says it's the key of D major, you go, all right, so if you go up to the second chord in D major, that's going to give you an E, and it's going to be an E minor. So you can work this stuff out just by looking at these here. Now, look at this third chord in the row here. We've got E minor, B minor, D minor. Well, this is minor, so we just put the dots on like this. This chord 4, look, it's Arabic is 4. The Roman numeral is 4, and you can see that it is actually all major chords. So let's put some serifs on there. This G here, this D, and this F here, these are also going to be useful for showing you how that works there. Now, A minor, E minor, and G minor, these guys here. Now, that looks like it says major there, but it isn't, because these are minor tonality. What we do is we just put a dot on there to show that it is a minor chord. Now, we've got to chord 7, which is a tricky one. And you'll notice that we've got this symbol here. This symbol here means diminished. A diminished chord is essentially a minor chord with a flat 5, a diminished fifth. So really, it's still kind of a minor chord because it's got a minor third. From the root to the third is going to be a minor third. So let's go with that. So we're going to put that there. For all purposes, that looks like a minor chord, unless we put this diminished symbol on to show that that fifth has been flattened. So that's the only variation that we need to put in there with that. Hopefully this makes sense, guys, for this here. There is another way that you need to understand this as well, and this is also going to be for the minor key. I'm going to move these around and I'm going to do the minor key as well. So if I go here and I'm going to go A minor, B diminished, and remember this is different Roman numerals we're going to get here. B diminished, C major, D minor, E minor, F, and we're going to get G here. You'll notice something here, that is exactly the same chords as what's in the minor here. So this is for the major. So we're going to think about this in the major key. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at these Roman numerals in the minor key. And this tonality thing's still going to work the same, but this is now the most important chord. And this is going to be the first chord, second chord, third chord, fourth chord, fifth chord, sixth chord, seventh chord. I can do the Arabic numbers here. I don't want to lose the scale formula that exists with this. And this is a natural minor, so I want to include the scale formula with that. Now, because this is the major, this is the most important tonality in all of Western music. We don't have to alter anything, but I'm going to show you how we do it in the minor here. So A minor is going to be a 1 there, a Roman numeral 1, but with the lowercase dot just to help me there. Now you can see without that there, everything there looks pretty much the same as the standard, and this is where people get confused. We don't want that. What we want to be able to do is we want to tie in the formula for the scale as well as the tonality. So if we look at this B diminished, remember we had this lowercase with the 2 dots there and that diminished. So look at this. This is still a diminished chord. We haven't changed anything. Now, this is where it gets a bit funky. The distance between an A to the C here is a flat third, and we want to tie in that scale formula as well. And what we do is we flatten that flat 3 there, but because it's a major tonality, we put that flat 3 there, guys. So that's just to help us to understand what's going on. This one is D minor. We just add the dot. We don't have to put any serifs on top. This is E minor. I've not put any serifs on. It's a little bit trickier to see, but hopefully you can see that there major with the serifs on and one without the serifs makes sense there. Here, this is a major chord here, so we have to put serifs on that. But the distance of the F from the A here is a flat 6. In fact, I can do that with this Arabic numbers. I can add the flat third, the flat 6, and indeed the flat 7. And this is the scale formula. I just add the scale formula to the Roman numerals so I don't get lost. Okay, so now I need to put a flat on that major 6 there. And then we do the same thing here with the 7, and we put a flat on that as well. This is going to come in useful when you start to put together chord progressions. And this enhanced way is just a little bit better. We can extend this even more by adding other symbols. If we want want to suggest that these chords have been turned into seventh chords, then we would experience something like half diminished, which would be for chord 7 here, or chord 2. We could put a line through just to show that is half diminished, which would be a minor 7 flat 5. And I can swap this out for any of the 12 keys, guys, because remember, we have 12 keys to go at. This is a universal way for showing you how it works for major and minor, and this is enhanced Roman numerals. Now, if you want to learn where these Roman numerals go actually on your guitar and what chords you should play, then maybe you want to watch this video just up here.